Hey team, it is day 71. I hope you're doing well. Let's get into the 6 goals, but also let's talk about one question that I got asked by one of my followers is, why do I get cold when I'm losing weight? I've had it happen to me here and there, but not very often. And I did some research on it, and I came up with some things that do make sense now that I've looked back into it. And it's interesting. We'll get into it real quick. But day 71, you guys, 19, 20 days left. Let's go. Push it hard. I know you guys are doing better than I am. I know you're going to make this. Stick with it. I know you can do it. But 215.6, so I'm nudging down. 1791, my son had a show choir competition yesterday, which he won, by the way, which is awesome. And if you guys have never seen the show choir stuff, it's crazy. The amount of time they put into that, and he's a dancer, singer, actor, all that kind of stuff. Like, literally leaves in the morning, comes home late at night. Like, I didn't get home till, I think, 3:30, 4 a.m. And that's, that's why the 5 hours of sleep. But I didn't get the calories in because I was watching the show and there wasn't really anything there to eat, and I wasn't going to stuff my face. And I went over and grabbed a coffee and at a Starbucks, and then they had some of those peanut protein bars, which were really good. But yeah, I just didn't get all the calories, and I wasn't going to take bad stuff. So hey, you live with life. I mean, life happens. That's why you got to try and plan for it. 148 ounces of the water. I told you guys I was going to bump up my water, and I am going to continue to do that. I'm going to get over that gallon and pretty consistently over. Like I said, 5 hours of sleep, 50 minutes. I found in Anytime Fitness. That's why I said about those 24-hour gyms. Make sure you get to them. If you want to travel, or if you are traveling and you want to be flexible, those 24-hour fitnesses work well. And only 155 grams of protein. I just couldn't find it. So there we go. Why do I get cold when I am losing weight? It's an interesting thing because I used to, way back when I was younger, I'm okay young, it's been a while, it's been over a decade. I roomed with a guy who was a pro bodybuilder, and it was interesting because when he would get ready for a show, like he would walk around at like 255, 260, I mean a big dude at like 6 foot, and just super muscle arms, everything's big. And when he would cut, I think he would cut down to like 210. So we're talking like 40 to 50 pounds over the course of like 4 months. And remember what I said, for 40 to 50 pounds, like, yeah, that was what it was. It should take you like 40 to 50 weeks, about a pound a week if you do it decent and consistent. And he was so cold because he was losing, restricting that calorie. He was losing that weight super fast, but like he was getting in those single digit body fat percentages. And so the one thing that I want to tell you guys about the first reason especially with him, is like, it's people that when they significantly lower their body fat. And I'm just telling you that those like single digits, like 6-7% or whatever the pro bodybuilders stand there at, I mean, it's not sustainable. Like, they prep and they plan all the way into it. So that's one reason people is when they significantly lower their body fat. And to be honest, like, I get cold every once in a while, and you have, lower body fat. I have lower body fat now than when I started this thing 70 days ago. But when you think about it, when you eat food and you move and just your body digesting that food, that's energy. Your body actually, it's called thermogenics. Your body actually, with protein and stuff, creates some heat and stuff. And I got some lean muscle mass. So you would think that, burning those calories and, keeping on moving and having more lean mass, you would keep a decent temperature. But there are reasons why people get cold. And the first one is if you significantly lower your body fat. And the second one is, go in here. The second one is if you significantly cut calories. And they said something for men, it's like, I think it's like 1,600 for men. Just common, and like 1,200 women. I think 1,600, something like that. But it's like significantly cutting your calories. So what that does is that as you significantly cut your calories, your body's like, well, wait a minute, where are the calories? And your body will start to try and conserve energy. Well, as your body slows down from a metabolism perspective, like, you want to keep your calories going within a range that sustains or helps you lose weight, but 500 to, anywhere from 200 calories a day to 1,000 calories, right? So when you look at the 200 to 1,000, you're like, okay, what is that? That's a half a pound to 2 pounds a week, right? That you would be losing. And that 1,000 calories is what I'm doing, and that's significant. Like I'm struggling right now. I'm hitting my set point here. So you got to give yourself enough time too. But if you lower it so much, it actually lowers, and I think I ran into this a little bit myself, is it actually lowers your metabolism a little bit. Your body tries to conserve energy because you're not giving it as much as you used to, like cutting those things in half. So your body's like, wait a minute, what the hell's going on here? And then it conserves energy, slows your metabolism, you get really tired, but you also lower your core temperature. So that makes people cold. It took me a long time to get there, but I did. So the next thing is when you significantly cut calories, that can also lead to, I'll put this number 3 is like thyroid hormone issues. And that's another thing with cutting calories. It can create some thyroid issues. And if your thyroid hormone goes down, you get cold. Like hypothyroidism, like is another thing, is separate from this. You know, people have it. It's somewhat genetic in my family. So, I mean, significantly cutting calories can cause that. And the fourth one, and there's more probably, and there is also some like health stuff associated with being too cold, like to where your body isn't able to produce enough red blood cells and you know, anemia, and there's actually some bad stuff that if you are cold all the time outside of something like this, go get checked out by a doctor, please. Disclaimer. But the fourth one is also sometimes when we're cutting those calories or we go on some of those crazy crash diets, like I'm going to lose 14 pounds in 14 days before my wedding, blah, I'm not going to eat anything. I'm going to go HCG diet. If you guys remember that thing, 500 calories, inject myself with some HCG and I'm going to lose weight. It was like 500 calories, man, that's super, super low. Like if you used to be eating 3,000 calories, 2,500 calories a day, there's 3,500 calories in a pound. Like you're almost cutting out a pound of calories every single day over the course of 2 weeks before a wedding and injecting yourself. I mean, it's the calorie deficit that's going to cause it. But normally we would also say, hey, no carbs, right? Man, no carbs. And you'd flush all this water. People would go crazy. But when you have these low carbs, it also lowers insulin. And that actually, the lower insulin levels cause your body temperatures to go down because insulin's that hormone that takes the sugar and stuff and puts it into your cells. So, you know, there's just heat there when you have more insulin because you're obviously eating and digesting and things are going through. So that can also cause. So it's kind of all related, but significantly lower body fat, you know, when you get down to those single digits, that can cause it. Significantly cutting calories slows down your metabolism, can make you cold because it lowers your core temperature, thyroid hormone, that can cause coldness. And, you know, lower insulin can also cause just a lower core temperature. But one last thing I was going to say is that I don't need to write up there, but when people use excess stimulants to lose weight, like you might hear some people using some like clenbuterol or ephedra, fen-days, when you have a ton of hype or a ton of stimulants in your body, you tend to get what we call as vasoconstriction. So like the extremities, your fingers, your nose, your feet, when it's cold outside, you get super cold. And I've had that happen where I used to, oh my gosh, that's in college when playing ball, like we would do what we called a triple stack. And it was like an ephedra, caffeine pill, and aspirin. And we'd take that when we'd go on long road trips and stay up all night and then you need energy the next day. And I was always super, super cold those early morning games on that triple stack because you were just hyped up, ready to go, but you were so vasoconstricted that you would get cold. And that's not any of these reasons here. That's an external stimulant side. So when people are losing weight, sometimes they get super cold because they're so revved up from stimulants to cut their appetite to help them, you know, eat lower calories, that also does occasionally cause coldness in your extremities. So that's another one, FYI. Probably information you didn't really care because I don't want any of you guys doing that stuff, but just FYI. Other than that, I hope this was interesting. It was interesting to me, this question that was asked, and I told you guys, ask me what you want and I'll put it into a video the best I can. Do a little research on it. I had to look back up this before because I've been a little cold at times, but never anything I've really focused on and concentrated on, is just because I always knew as long as I was eating food around the calories that I needed to slowly cut weight, that I was going to be creating a little bit of a revved up metabolism that does create heat as your body burns, you know, from the thermogenic effect of the protein and stuff. So I hadn't really had it at top of mind, so thanks for the question. But if you have any more questions, leave them in the comments. I will address them in subsequent videos. And you know what? Like I said, 19 days, let's go. Keep pushing hard. I know you guys are going to do it. I so much appreciate your support. And as always, I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. Thanks again.